What's shaking, Tenken fam? Get ready to strap in because the news cycle is moving at warp speed, and we've got the absolute latest, hottest updates dropping right here, right now. You don't want to miss what's coming your way today. We're diving headfirst into stories that are making waves, pushing boundaries, and keeping everyone on the edge of their seats. First up, a seemingly simple break-in takes a wild turn with an unexpected confession that has the whole town talking. Next, prepare yourself for an epic descent into the dark realms of Norse mythology. A brand new roguelike horde survivor has just been unleashed, promising intense battles, divine blessings, and a fight for survival against overwhelming odds. Can you become a godlike warrior? Then, we're shifting gears to the chilling world of survival horror with a deep dive into a critically acclaimed new title. This surreal journey into the past and future is being hailed as a masterpiece, packed with mystery, tough choices, and a truly immersive atmosphere. Get ready to question everything you think you know. And finally, gamers, get excited. Xbox Game Pass is dropping a massive lineup of new titles, including a sequel that's been years in the making and is finally arriving day one. We've got all the details on what's hitting the service this month. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of these incredible updates. A bizarre break-in leads to an unexpected confession. This story highlights how even minor crimes can involve intricate investigations and surprising outcomes, showing the persistence of law enforcement in tracking down suspects. It's a reminder that no detail is too small when it comes to solving a case, impacting local communities and the justice system. In a case that started with a simple report of a burglary at the local Walmart, Manitowoc police found themselves chasing a phantom. The incident, which occurred early on August 18th, involved a suspect brazenly entering the store through the GM doors after hours. Surveillance footage captured the individual making a beeline for the electronics section, where a specific target was identified: 2 pink Xbox controllers. The suspect then retreated to a nearby bathroom, unboxed the controllers, and made a swift exit the same way they entered. The initial investigation yielded a single, yet elusive, clue: the vehicle used in the crime, a silver Toyota Sienna. However, when police traced the license plates, they hit a dead end. The registered owner claimed no knowledge of the vehicle, leaving the case frustratingly cold. The situation remained stagnant for weeks, with investigators unable to identify the perpetrator or the vehicle's whereabouts. That is, until Monday, September 1st, when the abandoned silver Toyota Sienna was discovered in the parking lot of the Manitowoc Americ Inn on Hecker Road. Investigators promptly processed the vehicle, collecting DNA evidence before it was towed. Anticipation mounted as they awaited the lab results, hoping for a breakthrough. But before the DNA analysis could even point them in a direction, a 24-year-old man walked into the Manitowoc Police Department lobby and voluntarily turned himself in. In a surprising turn of events, he confessed to the crime. He admitted to taking one of the stolen Xbox controllers to Milwaukee, where he successfully sold it for $60. The second controller, he explained, was discarded because the intended buyer backed out. The man further revealed that he was homeless and had been moving between various cities including Manitowoc, Sheboygan, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Belgium. He had been sleeping in the abandoned Toyota Sienna, which he had parked at the Americ Inn. Following his confession and surrender, the 24-year-old was arrested and charged with burglary. The case, which began with a mysterious break-in and a phantom vehicle, concluded with a direct confession, showcasing the unpredictable nature of criminal investigations and the eventual path to justice. This confession has sparked a lot of discussion online about the ease of committing such crimes and the effectiveness of surveillance. Some are praising the suspect's eventual surrender, while others question the security measures at large retail stores. But this is just the beginning of our news rundown. Stick around as we head into the dark, mythical realms of Norse lore. The Hordes of Hell are unleashed. Norse roguelike Jotunnslayer is out now on Xbox, PS5, and PC. This launch marks a significant addition to the roguelike and horde survivor genres, offering players a deep dive into Norse mythology with engaging progression systems and challenging combat. It taps into the popular demand for action-packed, replayable gaming experiences with a strong thematic core. Prepare to face the relentless hordes of hell as Jotunnslayer. Hordes of Hell, the gripping new roguelike horde survivor from Games Farm and Artillery, has officially launched. Published by Grindstone, this adrenaline-fueled title is now available across Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and PC, inviting players to embody godlike warriors in the treacherous landscapes of Norse mythology. The core gameplay loop centers around surviving endless waves of enemies, a signature of the horde survivor genre, where strategic combat and quick decision-making are paramount. As players vanquish their foes, they will be rewarded with divine blessings from ancient Viking deities, empowering their characters mid-run and allowing for dynamic build customization. Jotunnslayer offers a diverse roster of characters, each possessing unique skills, abilities, and weaponry, encouraging experimentation with various combinations to discover potent synergies. Beyond the immediate thrill of battle, the game features a robust meta-progression system. This system allows players to permanently enhance their capabilities between runs by unlocking new perks, in-game skills, and powerful upgrades, ensuring that each subsequent attempt at survival is more promising than the last. The journey will take players through the fabled 9 worlds, presenting varied objectives and challenging missions that test their mettle. Culminating each world's gauntlet is a formidable boss encounter, requiring players to master their skills, utilize the environment, and leverage their chosen characters' strengths to achieve victory. The game's release has been eagerly anticipated, with its initial announcement hinting at a compelling blend of challenging gameplay and a rich mythological setting. Jotunnslayer, Hordes of Hell is positioned as a must-play for fans of the bullet heaven survival genre, seeking a fresh, action-packed challenge deeply rooted in Norse lore. It is available in Standard Edition for £16.74 and a Collector's Edition for £21.24, which includes exclusive armor packs. The game has already seen some traction in early access on Steam, indicating a strong player base eager for its full release. Initial reactions from early players and critics highlight the game's intense action, satisfying progression, and faithful representation of Norse mythology, with many praising the depth of the build customization and the challenge posed by the boss encounters. If battling mythical hordes is your speed, you'll love our next story. But first, prepare for a chilling journey into a surreal survival horror experience. Cronos, the New Dawn Review. This title is being lauded as a significant achievement for Bloober Team, building upon their previous success and establishing a new benchmark in the survival horror genre. Its blend of atmospheric storytelling, challenging gameplay, and striking visuals makes it a standout release. You step into the role of a traveler, awakened with a critical mission, to preserve the remnants of humanity by journeying into the past to secure its future. Cronos, the New Dawn is deliberately cryptic, withholding information and compelling players to meticulously explore every corner of its desolate environments. Scattered notes, posters, and audio logs serve as breadcrumbs, allowing players to piece together the fragmented narrative of this time travel-infused universe. The game opens with a stark introduction. You are a newly awakened consciousness encased in a suit, a vessel for the progress of your predecessor. The overarching questions of your purpose, your identity, and the fate of those who came before are unveiled gradually over the game's 10 to 15-hour runtime. Comparisons to the atmospheric tension of Twin Peaks, the unsettling mystery of Stranger Things, and classic sci-fi horror are apt, creating an experience that is as dark and mysterious as it is compelling. While some of the English voice acting can be a bit theatrical, the Polish developers have crafted a world that is undeniably captivating, though the absence of a Polish voiceover option is a curious omission. The game's environments, while not excessively varied, effectively convey a sense of post-civilization decay, interspersed with stark flashbacks to the outbreak's genesis. The core conflict arises from the Change, a phenomenon that transforms humans into monstrous entities, often merging into more formidable and grotesque forms. Through a mix of combat and light environmental puzzles, you'll delve into the origins of this affliction, the enigmatic nature of your organization, the collective, and your own pivotal role within the unfolding saga. Cronos, the New Dawn presents a significant challenge, characterized by your traveler's deliberate, somewhat cumbersome movement and a scarcity of ammunition. Survival hinges on resource management and tactical engagement with infected foes. Players will wield a variety of firearms, including a charge pistol, burst pistol, shotgun, SMG, and railgun, but ammunition is a constant concern. The game's energy, currency is vital, used at save stations to upgrade weapons and purchase essential supplies like bullets and health packs. These stations also dispense cores, necessary for upgrading your character's suit. The need for constant exploration to maintain resources is a core tenet of the gameplay, demanding strategic inventory management, especially when weapon attachments consume valuable slots. The narrative progression introduces new movement and combat mechanics, cleverly integrated to keep the experience fresh. Combat encounters, while sometimes leaning on predictable jump scares, are often balanced with thoughtful puzzle sections and story revelations. The deliberate pacing and choice-driven narrative encourage players to make every action count, especially during intense boss fights where environmental hazards like explosive canisters can be exploited. Melee attacks also prove surprisingly useful in the early game when ammunition is critically low. The game's visual presentation, particularly on PC, is stunning, utilizing Unreal Engine 5 to create a world of remarkable detail and atmospheric lighting. Despite some repetitiveness in the base architecture of the environments, the quality of the rendering and lighting effects makes the world pop, especially during surreal sequences involving altered gravity. The accompanying soundtrack masterfully blends influences from Blade Runner, The Division, and Stranger Things, enhancing the game's haunted and eerie atmosphere. Players have responded positively to the game's intricate world building and the satisfaction derived from overcoming its challenging combat and resource management systems. The narrative's ability to subvert expectations has also been a frequent point of praise. From the depths of horror, we're now heading into the exciting world of gaming updates. But first, let's check out some incredible news for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. Xbox Game Pass gets 6 new games for September, including Hollow Knight, Silksong as Day 1 release. This announcement is a major draw for Xbox Game Pass subscribers, particularly the inclusion of Hollow Knight. Silksong as a Day 1 release, a highly anticipated title that significantly boosts the service's value proposition. It also showcases Microsoft's ongoing strategy to offer a diverse and high-quality library of games. Microsoft has officially unveiled the lineup of new games coming to Xbox Game Pass for September 2025, headlined by the much-anticipated indie sequel, Hollow Knight, Silksong. This beloved title will be available as a Day 1 release for both Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass subscribers, a significant coup for the service. The initial wave of additions for the first half of the month includes 6 titles, kicking off with I Am Your Beast, a fast-paced shooter accessible across all Game Pass tiers. Following this is the action platformer 9 Souls, also available on Game Pass Standard. September 4th is a particularly big day, marking the release of Hollow Knight, Silksong and Cataclysmo, a compelling strategy builder. For younger gamers, the family-friendly Paw Patrol world is set to launch on September 10th, available on all Game Pass subscription tiers. Rounding out the announced additions is Roadcraft, a multiplayer crafting and survival exploration game scheduled for release on September 16th, where players will engage in building and maintaining roads within a post-apocalyptic setting. Beyond these new arrivals, Microsoft also provided updates on upcoming content for existing Game Pass titles. Notably, the Indiana Jones and the Great Circles the Order of the Giants DLC will launch on September 4th. While the base game is included with Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass, this specific DLC will require a separate purchase. Furthermore, Game Pass Ultimate members will receive an exclusive unlock bundle for the classic Skate 3, offering over $21 worth of DLC packs for the Xbox 360 title, ahead of the upcoming release of the next installment in the Skate franchise. The 4th installment, simply titled Skate, is slated to enter early access as a free-to-play game on September 16th. This will allow players to explore, perform tricks, and create skate lines within the expansive open world of San Vansterdam, featuring 4 distinct districts. Full Circle, the developer, plans to roll out patches and seasonal content updates based on player feedback leading up to the game's potential full release in 2026. As is customary, 3 titles are scheduled to depart from the Game Pass library to make way for the new additions. On September 15th, players will need to bid farewell to the turn-based strategy game Wargroove 2, the puzzle adventure we love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie, and all you need. The inclusion of Hollow Knight. Silksong as a Day 1 release is particularly noteworthy, driving significant excitement and value for the subscription service. Subscribers have expressed immense enthusiasm for the September lineup, with Hollow Knight, Silksong being the most talked-about addition. The breadth of genres represented, from action platformers to strategy and family-friendly titles, has also been widely praised. That's all the gaming news we have for you today. But stick around, we've got a quick wrap-up of all the top stories and a big call to action. And that's a wrap on today's hottest updates. We saw a surprising confession in a local break-in, dove headfirst into the epic Norse realms of Jotunnslayer, explored the chilling depths of Cronos, the new dawn, and got hyped for a massive Xbox Game Pass update featuring Hollow Knight. Silksong. Don't miss out on any of our future breakdowns. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, leave a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all our social channels for even more. We'll see you in the next one.